Theo's eyes widen in disbelief as he stares at Sir Teru and asks what he says. Teru apologizes and explains that title deed trading is temporarily suspended. Theo asks what he means, his ears twitching in frustration. Shaun steps forward and explains that robbers who murder title deed owners and extort them have been appearing lately. For the safety of the association members, title deed trading is suspended for the time being. Theo becomes disappointed and asks if there is no other way to get a title deed. Teru rubs his chin and thinks about it. Shaun suddenly seems to remember something and asks Sir Teru if Theo can look for one in the association's lost and found warehouse. Teru's eyes brighten as he says that it is definitely possible. Theo looks confused and asks what the lost and found warehouse is. Not long after, Theo and Teru arrive at a large, old-looking door. A crocodile guard wearing heavy armor and carrying weapons stands firmly in front of it and guards the entrance. The guard looks at the two visitors and recognizes Teru. He notes that Sir Teru is there with a top wandering merchant he has never seen before. Teru gives the guard a friendly nod and praises him for working hard. Theo immediately steps forward proudly and introduces himself as the Golden Cat Theo, who has just been promoted. Teru takes out a key and hands it to Leekin, telling him that the key is there. Leekin respectfully accepts it and says that he opens the door for them right away. Clink! The key turns inside the lock, and the heavy door slowly opens. Teru looks into the dark interior with a nostalgic expression and says that it has been a very long time since he has gone inside as well. He gestures toward the entrance and tells Theo to go in. Theo follows Teru inside. The moment they enter, Theo's eyes widen. The warehouse is enormous. It stretches deep into the darkness, and countless objects are piled everywhere. Old boxes, broken equipment, forgotten treasures, potions, jewelry, tools, and countless other items are scattered throughout the huge space. Teru looks around and explains that the place is vast and gloomy and contains so much junk that he does not know whether Theo can find what he wants, but he tells him to look carefully. He suddenly notices that Theo is staring at something and becomes curious. Theo's golden front paws begin to glow brightly. Theo excitedly says that his golden front paws are reacting like crazy. He immediately rushes toward the glowing objects. He picks up a beautiful piece of jewelry and examines it closely, thinking that it also looks good. The jewelry sparkles in his paws. Theo then finds several bottles of potions and picks them up one after another. He excitedly says that they also look extraordinary and calls the place pure heaven. Teru begins sweating nervously as he watches Theo fill his arms with treasures. He cautiously calls out to Sir Theo. Theo looks at him with an innocent expression and responds curiously. Teru clears his throat and explains that according to their regulations, the items Theo can take are limited to one. Theo freezes and repeats that he can take only one. Then his eyes sparkle as he asks for 5. Teru's face immediately stiffens in shock. Theo remains completely serious. Teru nervously explains that this puts him in a difficult position. He says that these items are strictly managed by their association, so they have to go through a complicated procedure. Theo immediately counters by asking for 4 instead. Teru looks troubled and says that if they add just one more, they can make it 2 as a special exception. Theo crosses his arms and thinks for a moment. He remembers that Chairman Mason tells him to ask for anything as thanks for saving Jaraz, so he says that he may have to talk to Chairman Mason directly. Teru's expression changes instantly. He hurriedly asks if they can possibly settle for 3. Theo pauses and repeats that it is 3. He then gives a small, satisfied smile and says that it is a shame, but he understands. Inside his mind, Theo feels extremely proud. He thinks that haggling 3 times is basic for a top wandering merchant now. 3 is a little disappointing, but there will definitely be amazing things. He also wonders what Chairman Park will like. Meanwhile, back on the 99th floor, Sejuan is busy working on the farm when Iona approaches him. Sejuan looks at her in surprise and asks if she wants to build a magic tower here on the 99th floor. Iona excitedly nods and says that she does. She asks if it is even possible. She quickly explains her plan. The Black Dragon Master has already given permission, and having a magic tower here will also help with farming. They plan to build the magic tower in the southern forest, and if they exterminate the fire ants during the process, the area will become safer as well. Sejuan's eyes widen as he asks if that is really true. Iona happily nods and confirms that it is. Sejuan thinks about it for a moment before smiling and asking if she will allow him to build the magic tower. Iona agrees. Sejuan also agrees and tells her to let him know if there is anything he can help with. He then reaches for a basket and asks if she wants some peanuts. Iona's eyes sparkle as she happily accepts the peanuts and thanks him. At that moment, a familiar voice calls out from nearby and addresses Sejuan as Uncle. Sejuan turns around. A warrior rabbit stands nearby with the black and silver wolf chief. A large bag packed with supplies is strapped to the warrior rabbit's back. The warrior rabbit gives Sejuan a cheerful smile and explains that they are going back to the 55th floor because they need to help Queen Bubu. He pats the large bag on his back and thanks Sejun for giving them plenty of carrot seeds. He says that they will also take good care of the carrot farm on the 55th floor. Sejun smiles and nods. He tells them to have a safe trip and asks them to say hello to Payu Payu for him. The black and silver wolf chief suddenly calls Sejun by name. Sejun turns around and responds curiously. The wolf chief steps forward and holds something out to him. He asks Sejun to accept it and explains that he finds it while organizing the treasure vault. Because it has a savory smell, he believes that it may be a plant seed. Sejun looks at the object curiously and asks if this is it. He carefully examines the walnut. A system window immediately appears before his eyes. Walnut of training, a walnut harvested from a walnut tree grown inside the tower that has absorbed plenty of nutrients and tastes great. Strength increases by 0.1 each time you continuously crack its shell. Eating the walnut kernel keeps you full longer than usual. Grade C. Sejun smiles. The wolf chief says that he expects Sejun to recognize it right away. He looks at the walnut with interest and finds it interesting that Sejun's stats increase when he cracks the shell rather than when he eats it. Sejun gratefully nods and thanks him. He promises to plant it carefully and grow it well. The wolf chief accepts his response. The warrior rabbit then says goodbye. After the warrior rabbit and the black and silver wolf chief leave, Sejun watches them disappear into the distance. Then he looks down at the seeds in his hands and wonders if he should plant some seeds for the first time in a while. Iona immediately nods and says that she should also start working on constructing the magic tower. Sejun returns to the farm and begins walking around while looking for a suitable place. He wonders where he should plant the seed. As he searches the field, something catches his eye. He wonders if he plants something like that before. He walks closer and asks what it is. Then his eyes widen in recognition. He realizes that it is the 5-color bean he plants a while ago. Sejun crouches beside the plant and notices that there are already fruits inside the bean pods. A system message immediately appears. You have acquired 4 5-color beans. You have acquired 1 stamina-boosting red bean. Proficiency for harvesting LV 6 increases slightly. You have gained 700 experience points. Sejun looks at the plant in surprise and realizes that beans other than the 5-color bean also grow on it. Another system window appears. Stamina-boosting red bean, a red bean grown in a field that has absorbed plenty of nutrients and tastes great. Cultivated by a farmer experienced in farming. Its taste and efficiency have improved. Stamina stat increases by 100% for 1 minute upon consumption. It does not sprout roots even if planted. Cultivator. Tower Farmer Park Sejun. Shelf life. 90 days. Grade C. Sejun's eyes light up. He wonders if other colored beans can grow as well. A moment later, he sees another bean and happily realizes that he is right. A yellow bean falls into his hand. Power-boosting yellow bean strength stat increases by 100% for 1 minute upon consumption. It does not sprout roots even if planted. Cultivator. Tower Farmer Park Sejun. Shelf life. 90 days. Grade C. Sejun looks from the red bean to the yellow bean. He realizes that the red bean boosts the stamina stat while the yellow bean boosts the strength stat. He wonders if he should try eating one. He tosses the yellow bean into the air and catches it in his mouth. The moment he eats it, an enormous surge of strength flows through his body. Sejun's eyes widen as he feels the incredible power overflowing from him. He clenches his fists and realizes that at this rate, he may even be able to withstand Quang's roar. His confidence quickly rises. He decides that, with this momentum, he can finish the farming in 1 minute. Back inside the lost and found warehouse, Theo finally stops searching. He looks at the 3 items he has selected and wipes the sweat from his forehead. He says that he finally makes his decision and has chosen the 3 items. Teru looks at the items in surprise and says that he really does not expect Theo to find a title deed. Theo proudly raises his paws and explains that this is the true power of his golden front paws. He then notices another strange object lying nearby. Theo picks up a wooden stick and admits that he does not know what the stick is. His golden paws begin glowing intensely. Theo happily says that his front paws react to this item the strongest. Since Quang likes sticks, Theo decides that it is a gift for Quang. He happily hugs the stick and thinks that Quang will like it. Theo then turns toward Teru and thanks him. Teru smiles warmly and congratulates Theo once again on his promotion to top wandering merchant. Theo grins and says that Teru is a good guy. He tells Teru that when he comes to the 99th floor later, Theo will treat him well. Afterward, Theo, Teru, and Leekin leave the warehouse. Leekin closes the heavy door behind them and locks it. Teru looks toward the dark warehouse and laughs nervously, saying that the 99th floor is a little scary. Theo immediately shakes his head and assures him that there is nothing to be scared of. He explains that the 99th floor is more peaceful than Teru thinks and has lots of delicious things. He proudly pats his bag and adds that Teru packs so many precious items for him. So Teru is welcome anytime. Leekin, who is standing nearby, hears this. A mischievous, almost evil smile slowly spreads across his face as he reacts with interest.